many police were on the scene when you got there?
Oh, it was only, so myself and my colleague just walked into it as it was unfolding, so there was no one else there. He got attacked, he was shouting on the radio. Yeah, it was the weirdest thing, like you do feel very alone. My stepdad is a Palace fan, so I always kind of had a little bit of, you know, him jibing at me. Like when I was in secondary school, I think was when I kind of stuck my allegiance on Palace, really. Genuinely, the first time I started going to the game, it was like there was an atmosphere, and it was when we were in like the old Division 1, when it was Division 1, and there was something about it. There was something about it that made it better than going to genuinely Premier League games at the time. There was just something special. I don't know. That sounds so cliche, but it's true. I still remember the first game I came to on my own or with like a schoolmate, and it was when Steve Kember was like caretaker manager, and we were playing Rotherham at home. I sat right behind the goal thinking very decent seats, and it was the most boring 0-0 draw you've ever witnessed in your life. Stayed in my mid-20s and I just started thinking, what do I want to do as a career? And yeah, I thought, yeah, let's be a policeman, that looks like fun.
So when the London Bridge attacks happened, how long had you been a policeman then?
Oh, not even 2 years.
And can you just describe, like from your point of view, what was the story of the evening from your side?
It was just like a normal night. We just like left the office to go and do a patrol, and just walked into obviously what was in the news. In some ways, I don't think the magnitude has hit me as such, because it was just, you were just dealing with what was in front of you, and it wasn't any, well, it took a while to sort of click and think, oh, okay, something bad's actually happened here, something really bad. It was just the kind of randomness as it all unfolded, I guess, was a bit chaotic, is probably a good word. Yeah, I remember being back on duty sort of on the Thursday afterwards, so like 5 days.
At what point did you realise that you needed to talk to someone?
It was too long afterwards. It was, yeah, it was about a year afterwards that I realised properly like how not okay I had been. You never know what you're going to deal with on a day-to-day basis. You can't prepare for some of the traumatic things you see. Even before I knew how not okay I was, like I had started speaking to charities, but there was one in particular that kind of really touched a nerve with me. It was PTSD 999. An organisation that's fully aimed at kind of the blue light services. It chinks away at your armour a little bit. I think the more you deal with fatalities and just horrible stuff, it does eat away at you a little bit. I had a message of somebody within a couple of days who had obviously seen in the news that I was a Palace fan. I don't really know how, and so I got invited down and like a stadium tour. So the club were just great. Like, I mean, it was so weird, you know, the team we support kind of, I don't know, feeling like they were giving me praise. It was like the backwards way of doing it. Like I come here and big them up, and it was weird getting it the other way. I was really nervous, like the most. I don't get that nervous very often. I'm quite good at controlling my nerves, but I was absolutely bricking it. I'd sort of met Jim Cannon before, and he presented me with a shirt on the pitch, and going on the pitch of the team you support, and I've never done it before, was just unbelievable. Like genuinely unbelievable and terrifying. I'm sure one day I'll be able to look back at that and just be like even more mind blown than I am now. It was amazing.
Have you ever worked at a Palace game?
Yeah, I've worked a few. The last one I worked this season was West Ham. And I remember I stood outside a pub when RU scored. I was watching it on my phone because it was on Amazon Prime, and obviously heard the roar before we scored on my phone anyway. And I was like, it's got to be a home goal. And then there was some guy who, I don't know who he was, but he had a bet on it. He wasn't a Palace fan, and yeah, I ended up like celebrating with this complete random. So that was fun. That was a good memory.